I wanted here to speak with you about imagination. There are two kinds of imagination. The first one is a conservative imagination, and the second one is a creative imagination. So the conservative one is this imagination that is concentrated on the senses, our senses, physical senses, like for example these flowers. I see them and I can close my eyes and imagine them. This is the conservative imagination. For example, you'll go to the market now. Before going, you imagine yourself going outside your house, opening the door of your car, driving and entering to the supermarket, and all the scenario. You imagine it before. It's evident. So this is the conservative imagination. It's the imagination that is based on what is physical, outside the reality, outside our life. So this is the first one. The second one is the creative imagination. What is the creative one? It is that imagination that comes from new images that we can have the ability. God gave us this higher faculty to imagine things that we didn't know before, but we have the possibility to shape them in our minds if we work on our ability, because the imagination, it's like a muscle. The more you work on, the more it is developed inside you. For example, you want to go abroad for studying, for example, to England, for example. If you imagine yourself going there and you expect good things, or for example, you imagine yourself in a good house, living in a good house with beautiful people, going to the faculty there, and you imagine the faculty. You've never been there before, but you have the possibility to imagine. And imagine the conversations with the students with you, and whole the atmosphere. You can imagine if you work, for example, each day you have like 30 minutes to imagine this, because you want to fulfill this aim, this objective. So imagination is creative that way, and it's very, very much important to have the creative imagination, because all what we imagine with faith and purpose comes true. This is the law, You are inviting what you are imagining if it's positive, and because if it's positive, it comes from your soul inside you, your God's soul inside you, and in God's soul inside you and inside everyone, in everyone, everything is already created. So when you imagine this, you remove the obstacles between you and achieving your goals in life by your imagination, and you invite what is already created for you by God to enter your life. Everything was imagined before achieved in humanity. Going to the moon, for example, it was imagined before achieved. Everything, and in Quran it is very clear, and in the Bible, that God wants us to imagine. In Quran He says, أَفَلَا تَتَفَكَّرُونَ in Arabic. Don't you think? Thinking here, it's not merely a conservative imagination. This is not meant by thinking here. It's not the conservative imagination that is meant by think in Quran. When He says, don't you think? God wants us to imagine creatively. This is what is meant by thinking. When He says, don't you think? So creative imagination is a gift from God that we gotta learn, and we gotta exercise ourselves to make it as a habit, daily habit for us to improve our lives to the better. Thank you so much, dears. À la prochaine. Bye bye.